noise. All right, back with my next live stream. Had to have a break, and okay. So the last thing I did was finally figure out I didn't have the I didn't over here on the IBM. Still got it open over there. I didn't have the CD drive plugged in, and evidently I think I left it unplugged the last time I had it apart. I was trying to figure out where the noise was coming from. I just forgot to plug it in, and so that thing wasn't making noise. I know that. And the whole time I was trying to get it, I was trying to boot to the 80 gig hard drive with Fedora 23 on it. What's the normal OS for the server? Well, I didn't have it plugged in, and I did that just a while earlier today, and for sitting there looking at the cable, even it wasn't dawning on me. Yeah, you're not going to boot to it like that. So that's when I went to go plug. I finally realized I went to plug it in. That's when I realized the CD drive's not plugged in either. So I had forced that door open and shut it, and I kept noticing there was no light blinking ever on that CD, and it wasn't computing in my head. So anyway, the CD should work now, but I'm not interested in using it right now. But I did go ahead and get the CD drive that was in there out. Yeah, it popped out like it was supposed to, I think. I did that a while ago. I was in such a rush to get out of here. Because I was dying, I had to have a break. But the 40 gig hard drive is not recognized. It kept saying, when it was the only thing plugged in, just kept saying no operating system. What it doesn't tell you is whether or not the drive is completely, partition's all lost, or if it's broke or whatever. So anyway, I finally plugged it up my regular hard drive and got into Gparted. It didn't see that drive, that 40 gig. I think it's a Seagate. I want the rubber cover all over it, protective cover. And I went ahead and test disk is on that system, and test disk didn't see it either. And test disk is for recovering lost partitions. If it doesn't see the drive at all, it may be completely broke. Sometimes you can use some other advanced stuff in there to I need to look through and see. It'll tell you if the cylinders are marked wrong, like the sizes and stuff, and the amount of cylinders and the sizes of I can't remember how it all goes, but anyway, it'll help you. But I don't want to do that now. That's something for later. I don't want a drive that's even anywhere, any chance of it giving problems in that machine anyway. I want a good dependable drive in there, because I've got the 30 gig, and it should probably be big enough, because I saw that I think the minimum you could install a Fedora 28 server on a 10 gig hard drive, and 30. So with 30, that'll give me enough for the operating system, evidently, probably, and then just my like 3 gig of website. It's about 3 gigs. Now, some of the other things that I've been keeping on this 80 gig drive, they won't be able to do that, but that'll be okay. I mean, I do have a 250 gigabyte hard drive I could put in there, but what happens is I really don't like to store things on my server in case it gets broke into. I don't want anything important on there, anything personal. And if I've got that 250 gig, I'm going to want to use it, So I'd rather put it in a machine that's actually being used for something anyway. And it's an old hard drive that I think it's not just saying pre-failure like most old hard drives do. If I remember right, it's the one that's when you test it with the hard drive testing apps, it'll say imminent failure. But it's been doing it for 3 or 4 years now. But it sometimes I think it does act up. Definitely, I think it has quite a few lost sectors. Is that what they call it? Anyway, unrecoverable. And so anyway, I don't want to use it in the server because it'll be running all the time. Unless that's just my only real choice. What else do I have? Oh, I have Mom's old Fedora 14, which is a 250 gigabyte. It would be a good candidate if I did want to use it for a server, but I don't want to reformat it until after I'm done building her machine to make sure that that's a complete, untouched backup of her files, at least all the ones in the last time she touched it in Fedora 14. Now, I already copied them over to that laptop, and she's been using it, so there's going to be some updates, but if anything happened to the other, and I have another backup, on my backup drive, and actually I think I have another older backup on my old system. But anyway, I just want to be careful with that, So, let's get this hard drive out of there. Let me switch to the wireless mic. And are we on the wireless? Yeah, I think so. Now I haven't checked my sound, so let's go ahead and check my sound on my preview. Check my sound on my preview. I'm going to move that SM58. Yeah, okay. I was wanting to make sure that I was indeed. I don't know if that works. I'm going to try that again, shutting that lid. Well, yeah. Because if I shut the lid, when I open it up, it just starts playing. Now, I think it plays from the last point it was at, not didn't catch up. I don't know. One time, I've done it 2 or 3 times in the last video, and one time I thought it did catch up. So, anyway, let's get this front off of here again. You gotta get that. It really hurts. I've got all these sharp, I get these sharp pains nowadays. It hurts to press buttons and do everything now. It's not just in my hands, it's in my knees and ankles and everything. So this is pretty cool. Forgot to do that. Where is it? Right there. So what are we looking at here? What's that right there? I'm seeing something that I don't know what it is in my shot. I can't figure it out to save my life. It looks like part of the front of that. Well, quit worrying about it. Oh, it's the monitor. I knew it had to be something. So what I'm thinking is if I turn that, now I can see the, I can see basically what I'm doing here pretty much, because I put it over here, but I kept bumping into it. So you can fairly well tell what I'm doing there. So if I unplug the power from that, and unplug the data cable from that, the IDE cable, it'll open all the way up, and then you just pull it out. And, well, actually, I can still see it. So, right there. So, this bag, I like having it handy, but let's put it back there to stop things from sliding all the way off for now. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get this out of here. And I'm going to got a sticker all ready for it. That's a Seagate, yeah. The only thing I haven't done is wrote on it what was really wrong with it, but Seagate. That way I'll know what it belongs to, and this I'll put the model. Usually I like to put the model number on there to make sure I know. But I can't see that good right now. I'm not used to spinning forever. I do think that's the coolest thing here. You can destroy a hard drive by shorting out the circuit board. Of course, it doesn't cover the whole circuit board. You can still short it out. But it's got that rubber protective sleeve. I've never seen another one like that. So let's put this. I had that all lined up. Yeah, I can do that. Go to the. This is the one that I'm going to put in there. Is it's a 2003. Yeah, pretty old. 30 gigabyte Maxter. 3.5 inch series. And of course, it's an IDE drive. Let's see, the Seagate that I just took out is 40 gigabyte. Some point it must have been sold used or something. It has that $35 sticker on it. I don't know. It came in one of the old machines that Jeff gave me. So I don't really know what was the story with it. But yeah, see, like the cylinders, the heads, and all that stuff, you can change that with test disc. If it's off, I mean, you can really break them fast. I've done it. I got one done in my old server that I broke trying to fiddle with it. I was playing with one. I thought, what was it doing? Somehow, in something it kept showing up as really like it's a no, it's a different drive. It's showing it. Well, that might be it. It's like it's a 2 gigabyte drive, and it kept showing up as an 8 or 12 gigabyte. And I thought, well, maybe if I change the cylinders to this and that and the other, I might make it actually work that way. And when I did that, it quit being recognized by anything. That was really a good idea. Okay, now this cable, I guess it's going to be twisted no matter which way you turn it. Okay, yeah, that seems less twisted like that, I think. Less than a bind. And that would go good like that, so it doesn't really actually... I think this thing likes to go in here like this. Oh, wait. Or does it? Like to go in there like that. I think it likes to go in there like that. It's hard to tell with everything being in its way. I think it'll go either way. This caddy, yeah. Yeah, it's better like that. Okay, so now if I put this on here like this, this one I think I can put it on either way. The other one would only go in one way. Oh, you forgot. Dang it. Go back to 1 and 2, I guess. Gives me 2 chances to mess up. Not that 1 and 2. Yeah, that 1 and 2. Okay, so, yeah, this one, it's really thin, so it can go either way in this little caddy. It's like it was made for it. Normally I wouldn't care for plastic stuff, you know, to hold things, but this is so easy to use. Yeah, look how easy it is. It really, I mean, it's a little fiddly, you know, getting it to line up and hook up, but that camera seems frozen. Why is it frozen? Sometimes if they do that, you can go to the desktop and then go back, and then they'll be all right. I'm going to open up my preview, make sure I haven't lost my stream. Looks okay so far. I'll just reload it and everything. Uh-oh. Well, now that could be... The preview's not loading. But you know, that shouldn't matter. I don't know what's going on there. Sometimes I lose my... I'm using that Ethernet cable. My Wi-Fi looks okay. I'm using that Ethernet cable that that can come loose. So I guess it's not good to put that thing to sleep. It's lost its connection to the internet. Dang. Oh. Disable networking, enable networking. Let's see. Disconnected. Oh, I'm going to reboot the machine. It may not be the machine. It may be the router or something. I don't know why it would be, because I didn't redo any router stuff. But that's my preview. And if I'm worried, well, I am worried. So before I continue, oh, now it's working. Well, I thought I was going to check my preview is what I thought, but by the time I get through fiddling around here, let's see, that's cameras 1 and 2. Okay, now I saw that, but let me go ahead and look at my preview on this machine before I go on, because I want to make sure I'm working while I'm rebooting my laptop that I normally monitor. I guess shutting it for very long messes things up, shutting the lid. It lost its internet connection completely. Oh, this one may be going, it could have been acting up because it was doing lucky backup. Because I just rebooted it to make sure everything was going to be A-OK. I bet it was doing lucky backup. And that uses a lot of resources. Laptop's booted up. I'm logging into it. And live stream. I almost got the laptop back up before I could get myself turned around here and look at my live stream. Okay, but it looks like it's going to be okay. Let's see. It does have a pretty good delay, but I put my hand up there by that. Okay, but it looks like it's going to be okay. Still haven't seen it yet. There. Okay, so yeah, there is a delay. I mean, that's normal. Get my preview up and going, and then I can always look over there at it. This gets me just delayed in forever trying to make sure I'm still online. Better to let it play until the it didn't get its connection back though. I think maybe the cable's jacked up or something. I don't know if the router's jacked up. I can't remember which router it goes to. Whoops. I have a tag on it, but it's coming off. I didn't know they would do that. Instead of wrapping it around the cable, I had it going long ways down the cable, and it's coming off. Laptop. Come on. Where's my other cable? I laid it down somewhere. I mean, I put it away. I put it away in the one that I've been leaving on this thing, but the other day I needed it. The red one with still has a good catch on it. I'm gonna get it. Hook it up. It's on a different router, so maybe it'll be all right. I gotta figure out another way. I haven't liked the way this red cable is routed for a long time. It's out in the way where I can see the can't even think. Talk. Come on. The little clip is really on the verge of, I think it's on the verge of breaking there. It won't, when it's been taped down to keep it from breaking, which it is the only way to keep them from getting broke off when they're dangling everywhere. I don't know, maybe my router's lost. I just figured out what's wrong. How did that happen? I thought it was unplugged, but it was actually turned off. The TP-Link router, that's what it was plugged into. Somehow, I must have hit that. I mean, that button's pretty hard to turn on and off, but somehow I turned that button off. It's connecting. Actually, maybe now it's on the TP-Link. But let's see if we'll get back on the internet. I'm wondering if something... It looked like there wasn't enough lights on the TrendNet. Let's see, TrendNet, TP-Link. Okay, the TrendNet's the one that was off. The TP-Link is the one that I was saying about the buttons. Okay, connection established. Try again. Oh no, I don't. I think I'm pretty sure my stream's okay. But okay, now we're getting Google. But if I can't monitor it, I've had so many times when it went down recently because of something I did usually. we're making a mistake. If I don't have the monitor going, I won't know it. So I'm going to go ahead and get it back up. Okay, now. Alright, so we're still streaming. Of course, I confirmed that before I did all that, but I don't know how I turned that off. I was just moving things around, and actually the button was off. So now, I was afraid that something bad had happened and I'd completely lost my internet connection or something. Maybe this won't go in more than one way. Maybe I just thought it would. It won't. It has to go that way. Oh, I had it. Yeah, no, that is the way. I want it in there that way with the plugs up on the top where the little clasp is, where the little grabber is. So you want it that way. That one was in its spot and I couldn't even tell it. I don't think these line up like that other hard drive did. This thing doesn't have screw holes in the same places? Really? What's it doing? It really doesn't. This is a weird hard drive. Fits in there good. Well, I mean, sort of. Oh, one of them fell out. One of them fell out, and luckily I didn't lose it. It's right there. That seems familiar now that I've seen it. It's got these little springy things that kind of hold it. Oh, there's another one that was about to be lost. See, they belong. I thought they looked like they weren't springing. Guess I'm not getting in the camera. I should stay down there. At least I'm in the camera. So they go in there and they kind of snap in. That it's one of those that's, you know, keyhole type things where it'll come out in one spot and it stays in the other spot. So still don't get. Oh yeah, they line up. They didn't look like they weren't lining up because they were not in their right places. So it wasn't the hard drive, it was the operator trying to get the hard drive in this thing. I probably messed it up getting it in and out of the other hard drive. It was pretty hard to get it in and out of. Messed it up again. Maybe this is the hard one. There's little, you can mash those little springs, but I really don't know what good it does to mash on them. One of them fell right back out. Yeah, that doesn't really. Now, I think they used to do more good than they're doing now. I think they're kind of wore out. I guess I'm going to have to break down and get a tool. I think I need a screwdriver. A small screwdriver. Not a long one like I usually get. Just a small screwdriver. Now, so it needs to go back. It's pretty springy when it's in there like that. Well, it just keeps pushing it out. I don't see how you could. I was going to say maybe you're supposed to put them on the hard drive and then slide them through those holes, but I don't see how you could do that. That one keeps going out of its place every time I get it near going on.
Maybe that really is how you're supposed to do it. This is really a bind the way I'm trying to do it. So if you were to go, oh, they're opposite. They're all on but that one. Don't know why that would help matters. I didn't have really any trouble before with that other hard drive. I thought I did, but I didn't. This one's hard. My slanted work table's not really making things much better. Okay, now you can get it on one end and slide it. I don't think you're supposed to put it on the hard drive and then try to slide it on. I don't think. I don't see how that would work. They seem to be set up to slide opposite ways from each other. I'll try it once. Oh. This little keeper seems to be keeping a lot better. It doesn't want to come out of there. Let's see. Try this side first, since it's the one that's always wanting to fall apart. Oh yeah, it ain't going in there unless it's already in its right place. That's what I thought. I just thought since the plastic flexed pretty easily, it was just meant to flex and go on there. Be careful, you don't want that one fell out again. The one that looked the easiest is actually the hardest. I really don't know why it's hard to do, but it really is. Okay, if I can spring that up and get that in, slide that to its place. I'm doing it here because it's in the camera view, but it's really not a good place to do anything. That's out of the camera view a little bit. Not sure if I can get it in the camera view. There we go. That's really more in the camera view, isn't it? Okay, so if I can get that thing to slide, well, let's put it in its place again, if I can. I don't really get those springs. They're so loose. These here, so loose, I don't see what good they're supposed to do. That slides up there like that. It's pretty well wore out, I guess. It won't stay in the spot long enough for me to get it on the hard drive. Okay, so this is not easy. It's not easier than screws. It's 10 times harder. I just thought it looked like it would be easy. I guess I forgot about that too. It won't stay, save its life. Save my life. To get it in there. Yeah, see, they're made so that you can't put them on the hard drive and then slide them on, because these are on the inside, and so you know, once you get them in there, they stay. I mean, if they weren't messed up. See, this one's not all bent out of shape. Oh, it's barely staying in its spot with me moving things around. This one's been bent quite a bit. But it's not strong enough to hold anything. I don't know why it's even there. Don't really make sense. But you have to get it in there into that front slot. Getting tired of that thing, it's starting to make me mad. Okay, get it in there, and then you're supposed to be able to. Before, I was kind of twisting on them there. And there, did it. Now, of course, I've got this one all sprung out now from jacking with it. I don't know if I'll ever get it back to normal now. There, it's somewhat normal. Okay, now it's actually in the case, ready to go in, and you can turn them either way. There's the locator pin, and it wants to go like that, so I'm going to put it in there that way. Try to get that out of the way. And I don't have a lot of slack in my IDE cable. I believe I could put this one in, this drive in either way because it's a thin drive. I think I'll go ahead and plug this one up this time. No, better plug in the, well, put the power underneath that, yeah. Oh, I think I better plug it in so that I can shut it part of the way to get that IDE cable to reach. That's what I'm thinking. It may be better if I put it in the other way and twist that cable like I did with the other one. It is going to be better. I can't plug it up. It looks like it would plug up good that way, but it won't. So I'm going to try it that way. Now I wish I had the drive in the other way. And I may have to do that. We'll see. Now which way is that? Yeah, the locator's the other way now. Last time I twisted it this way out. And it did okay. If I have to, yeah, that makes me get a hold of that. But I don't know. Let's see. It may be too hard to. Yeah, I think I better do the power cable now. I'll probably be taking it right back off, but we'll go ahead and do it. Because if you get it down in where it belongs, then it's easier to keep it out of the way while you're doing this. Let's see, yeah, like that. Having the blue part in makes a little more in the way of the cable. But as hard as that drive was to get on there, I'm going to try it because... Yeah, this is how come I didn't... this neat looking thing, I didn't use it. Because it's really a serious pain to hook things up to it. It's easier to just plug them in, open the side and put them in and out. You got to get it straight, and it's really tough to, there, know that you're getting them straight. It looked like a neat thing when I first saw it, but it doesn't turn out to be so fun. Leave that screwdriver there for now. I'm going to get the, I hope I'm on the wireless mic. I think I am. I want to get the cover and put it back on there. Okay, yeah, I'm on the wireless. Because that way it works. Oh, it turns on and off normally. What's that? Oh my gosh. My USB was still in there, my SD card. Well, now I know that you can, at least with that one in there, I hope I didn't break anything. I don't remember feeling a bind, no. It's just so small. My little USB SD card, it was still in the slot. And it stays in the door, it just has a little angle there. So yeah, I see. Even if you had a big one in there, it probably would have came off okay. I certainly didn't mean to do that though. Okay, still don't know how to turn off that router. Okay, might have hit it with my arm. I don't know. I was gonna say I might have hit it with the arm when I was taking the door off or something, but even then, I had connection until just now. You know, maybe the button was like ready to let go, but it hadn't done it yet or something. It's one of those spring buttons. Push in, you know, push in and it stays in. Push it again and it pops out and stays out. So that's what I was kind of thinking. Maybe it was halfway in between. Okay, now what else do I need to do? Don't really need the whole top of it now. I guess I wasn't really showing none of my work, was I? I forgot to move the camera back down. Okay, so it's in there. Anyway, spotted me. It's in there whether it's, but if you couldn't see what I was. Let's go to camera stream. Let's go to desktop because I'm gonna need to go and lost my train of thought. Yeah, okay. I was wanting to make sure. I was trying to make sure I was, you know, everything was okay. So what I need to do is zoom in so that when I boot up, we'll see. You know, we'll see it on the camera. That's one good thing about just leaving. That's why I'm leaving that so that when I can zoom out to show the overall view, and then zoom in to show the monitor, just like that. And you know, don't have to fiddle in. It's really hard to get that thing lined up, so I don't have to keep fiddling and fiddling to get it lined up. Okay, now I'm gonna flop on over, switch on over to the IBM. Boot it up. See how loud it is. Let's get over here. Well, I hear extra noise. It must be the other drive. It may be a lot louder. Something. I hear a wah, wah. Let me get my mic off and let you hear. Oh. That's near the hard drive. Of course, the rattling is, I'm pretty sure, is the 80 gig. Of course, they might both have that sound. But I hear a really high pitch, and then I heard a This is the front. That's just down kind of underneath it. You know, one hard drive's down in the front, and the other one's up above the mic, so it's kind of even distance to both of them. No, that's the front, close to the front hard drive. That's close to the upper hard drive. And that's out in the middle where the CPU fan is. There is no case fan. And then there's the power supply fan in the back. Let me get on over there now. It should be trying to boot up pretty soon. Finish, I mean, it's been booting up. Should be. I wasn't paying any attention. For all I know, it booted to the other hard drive. Well, it's got my username. What I can't remember is, I think that's the Fedora 23. It seems like it might look a little different. Yeah, Bishop code, there it is, .local domain. So this is my server operating system. It's not whatever's on that other drive. So I guess, well, I guess that would be the case because it wouldn't have booted up before. If it was trying to boot to the drive in the front first, then I would have been in trouble. It would have, my preview's trying to load. Sometimes it just does that, but sometimes it means there's a problem with the stream or something. Or my internet, Ethernet or something, my internet routers and stuff. So it's coming on. Yeah, it's coming on up though. And my preview's okay now. Okay, and it looks like it has internet, or it's fixing to. I think it already does. I'll wait till it finishes. Yeah, this is my operating system, my normal Fedora 23 for this IBM on the 80 gig hard drive. So first I'm going to check the internet. Just go to the web browser and see. Definitely hear plenty of noise. So I think the second one maybe it's louder. It may be loud in a different way than the other one. I'm tired now. Well, another 30 minutes and I probably won't give a rip one way or the other where any of this works. And really, I'm not going to get through today. I'm too tired. It's been too long. But I do want to get to the point where I can turn it back to the IBM because it's supposed to be 102 to 104 to 105 every day this week. So I really don't want that to be relying on that server out in the garage in the heat. Especially if somebody turns the fan off, you know. For all I know, somebody already has, but I left the fan running out there. I was just looking at the temperature on the laptop. It says it's 100. And this is 12:23 p.m., so it's probably going to be hot. So, you know, okay, I got Google there. I ought to, when you just want to go somewhere, it doesn't really matter, can't think of any place to go. Fedora project. I'm just going to click on the top link and the Fedora links. Just want to make sure it's not. Once in a while you'll see Google and it's actually in your web cache, you know. Fedora 24 future upgrading with software app. There it is, software app, the one I've been using. It was Fedora 24, I guess, when they started that. Software app. I mean, it's all right, but they're not using it now. There's the Fedora 28. The one that I was actually interested in is that server thing. But yeah, you can't see what I'm looking at, so it's all working. Okay. So what I want to do is check that hard drive. Let's see what resources are doing first. Yeah, I hear more noises. Of course, I mean, you would kind of expect to, but I hear noises that are new. So I'm thinking that if I did have an operating system on this other drive, it would be noisy. Yeah, in case this card using 22 now 14% of the CPU. So you can't really leave it running. Whoops. It's making kind of a, it almost sounds like a old electric typewriter or something. Dot matrix printer or something. Let's see. Yeah, if it didn't, I kind of thought about sticking my wireless mic over there by the machine and then talking on the other one, but they're delayed from each other, so, and you'd probably still hear my voice in the delay. You would, because the lapel mic is a condenser mic and it'll pick up from far away. Not as far away as like big expensive condenser mics. At least I think it's a condenser mic, because it doesn't pick up as far away as you would think, but it may, I don't know, it may be more to do with the software in the phone call, you know, trying to get rid of background noise and stuff, because it does do that. It does a pretty good job. But yeah, I can't run it through the mixer. I've even tried, and it won't. I can't find an adapter that'll make it work on the mixer. It works on the phones, and it goes from the phones through the Wi-Fi to the computer, and then I can do some gain in OBS Studio. Besides what, you get one level and that's it out of the phone. It's all automatic. There's no way to change anything in this version of Android that I have, 4.5 or 5.4 or something. So let's look at Gparted. We'll see the disks again. I'm gonna have to get these passwords where I can see them. Okay, so yeah, the only way to know which one's loud and which one's, well, I started out with by unplugging the other drive, and I can still, okay, it's seen at least. Oh, this is NTFS. This is a Windows drive. Huh. $100 megabyte and then 28.54 gigabyte. This is a Windows 7 drive. I wonder if this, unless it's not going to be XP. I don't remember. Yeah, I guess that's when I had Windows 7. I guess this is what I had, Windows 7. It's probably even 64-bit. And the ASRock motherboard with the dual-core processor, not the 8-core that I have in there now, the old E-Machines processor. There's probably files in there and stuff. That would tell me what it was quicker than anything. But let's look at, well, I don't need to look at test disk. I see what it is. Let's look at files, yeah. Might be able to just mount it right here in Crusader. So, I don't believe there'll be any files in there that I'm worried about wanting or anything, but that brings about that I better check before I format, you know, if I was going to format it. Okay, let's see. 100 gigabyte, 100 megabyte, 28.5 NTFS. Okay. Let's try the 100 megabyte first because I want to see. We got them. See what we get there. System volume information, temp, boot. That's just the languages, boot manager, boot sec back, temp. volume information, mount manager, log, tracking log. Let's see if there's anything in there. It's not a regular text file that you can read. Of course not, because it's Windows 7. Mount point, remount database. See if you can read that. Doesn't show anything. Okay. Go out of there. Seems like my app is not responding now. There we go. Temp, boot sec, back. Well, let's just look at boot manager, see if we can look at that. It's another non-readable file. I can't think of the right words to say. RNTFS. Alright. So that's alright. I don't care. Wasn't something I was that interested in. So system reserved, yeah, that's Windows 7. And NTFS 28 gigabyte. Now this will be the actual operating system. Rescue CD logs. So I must have scanned it for viruses. CYG drive. Yeah, let's see what the rescue CD logs have to say. 080417. Okay, so it just shows what it scanned. 32 gigabyte and something else. What is this other thing? Yeah, it's something with just a couple of characters in it. This old machine just can't move very fast. Come on. Okay. Windows, of course. System 32. It may be a 32-bit. I don't see how really the 64-bit would really even fit on 30 gigabyte hard drive. Let's see, users, Dawn, pictures, screenshot, 080417, those look like the newest ones. Let's see what we got in there. Yeah, virus scan screenshots. So this is one that I must have been trying to, yeah, that's Bitdefender. So what I would want to do is scan it again and then back up these files, or make sure they've been backed up, but I wouldn't want to do it till I'd scanned it again. Let's see what we got here. That was in Bitdefender, I'm sure. So these are when the system was working, you know, it's normal. Nothing to the right, left. Oh, that'll tell me what all apps I had on there and everything. That's the desktop. Pretty much what I put on them. VLC, trying to do some RTP and HTTP remote video watching for some reason. And not really getting it to work. That used to be so much easier to get to work. Google Photos backup. Now it's empty. I was going to say, what? I was probably using this. This might have been the one I was using. I would turn it on and I would connect it over the network to my other machines and let it upload my pictures and videos to Google Photos. Just let it run. Well, on the ASRock, like I said. No downloads. Didn't have room to be saving any downloads. My videos, my midget, my videos, my pictures, my music. Music is what I was trying to say. Yeah, the N68CGS-FX, that is the ASRock motherboard. Any videos in there? Nope. Yeah, I kept it cleaned up because there was no room. So I think that, I knew I was doing that with some system. I was trying to remember which one. It probably wouldn't even run. But, I mean, it's been scanned with Bitdefender. I didn't pay any attention to the results. But it tells me that, well, anytime I see an old Windows drive, it tells me I really need to scan it. If I want to, you know, use any of those files, I need to scan them. I used to only did that if I knew it was infected, but now you just might as well figure it's infected. Green shot. Okay, that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted, yeah, those right there. Okay. That's Gparted. I was using Gparted in Bitdefender. Okay, I didn't realize it. I didn't remember that it was in there. And probably one of the reasons I was using Bitdefender is so I could do remote desktop because it has it built in. I might have booted in Bitdefender just to do that. See, see there, Team Viewer, which now I don't really like Team Viewer since they told me I was using it for professional, just tracking every move I made, and I wasn't using it for professional purposes. But that Team Viewer downloads it and runs it in portable version, and I did it through like 2 or 3 times within 30 minutes. I didn't understand what it was doing. I just thought it wasn't working. I'd click on it and wouldn't do nothing, so I click on it again, you know. What it was doing was downloading and then starting it up. And finally I figured it all out. I started investigating the scripts on here. It has scripts for download, and it has a script to download a Team Viewer and run it, and it has a script to download the newest version of Bitdefender and run it on this little, it's a little Linux distro. It's Gentoo Linux. And so they kept seeing those downloads, I guess, on their automated system, decided this person at this IP address is using it too much. They must be professionals, and I'm just using it for my stuff. And so they wouldn't let me use it. They blocked it. And so then when I realized how much they were, you know, intruding into my network, that pisses me off to no end. And then, okay, that's all of them. So that's not a virus. Oh no, this is a virus scan right here. But I don't see any results telling me. It says threats may be present on your system. I don't know. No threats have been detected. Okay. Looks like a full scan for this system. Okay. I was talking away about how mad I was at Team Viewer, and I didn't pay no attention to what I was looking at. Okay, so you know, it might be all right. Yeah, those I would scan them with like Team Viewer, KlamAV or something. I don't think I could do it on the server though. Maybe. I mean, I might be able to leave this drive in the server and scan it. I could probably handle it. I've been meaning to do that anyway, though. So one way or the other. But if I do that now, right before I go to bed, then I'll be listening to it. It's kind of hard to get the door back on with it running without accidentally turning it off and stuff. Because the button, when you start banging around on it, a lot of times it'll turn them off or on if they're off, or off if they're on. I was thinking, well, I could button it up and start running KlamAV. I better button it up first then. Let's see, what all do I need to do? Actually, all I need to do is, if I want to leave it like this, I put the door on it. Start up KlamAV. It's already on the system. Let it scan, I guess, and if it's not too loud, then I can leave it. And if it is, then I'll have to turn it off, take that hard drive out so that I can, if I want to run it tonight while I'm asleep. Because it's not, doesn't wake me up. It just bugs me when I am awake trying to go to sleep. But with this other drive, it could be so loud it will wake me up. and I don't want that. But then again, it's a server and it runs all the time, so it would be the perfect candidate for scanning. If it had enough power, I would just use it as a virus scanner all the time, you know. Put drives in it and scan them, or plug a USB, plug them in on USB or something, you know, and scan them on my USB adapter. Oh, that's not the one I want. But yeah, TeamViewer intruding into my network like that and monitoring my activity, which you shouldn't be surprised. It's proprietary software. It's not open source. So, and they make sure they tell you that in those notes. But the other thing is, it's such a powerful software that if they're going to do that, what else will they do? They could do anything they want. So, you know, if I don't feel like I can trust them even a little bit, then I don't want it on my system. At least with open source, if somebody does start doing bad things, somebody else is going to catch them. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. And that's the stupidest argument that proprietary software sellers make, is that open source is dangerous because there's no secrets and everybody knows about it. You know how it works. They know how to break into it and all that. Well, yeah, but as quick as somebody learns how to break into it, somebody else learns how to stop it. And as quick as somebody else learns how to put malware into it, somebody else learns how to stop it. And it's been working for, well, open source has actually been around since the, let's see, I don't know. Well, the whole open source movement, you know, with Stallman, Richard Stallman, he started back in the Free Software Foundation in probably, I'm not terrible with the dates, but I think it was in the 70s. Might have been the early 80s. And I think there were people doing that before then too, you know, from what I remember, history videos I've seen and stuff like that or read. So what is this? Oh, this is still VLC. I'm going to have to quit this little game. I'm too tired to. I thought I might get into something that would tell me like a virus scan or something. There's not a jillion. I don't know. I was trying really hard to do something with VLC for some reason. Okay, there's just showing that I've got Avast running. But really none of that, you know, what happened once upon a time doesn't really matter. So I think I'm going to try putting the door on it. I've already got all the drives mounted. I mounted them just now by opening them up. Now it's starting to make some noise. Let's see what that's going to be like. That actually sounds more like that noise that I keep hearing when I'm trying to go to sleep. Trying to see if I can feel the fan blowing. Get my finger in it, and I'll know it's turning. It's not the hard drives, I don't believe. I don't think it's the back fan. Could be all this time it's the one been making the noise. That's the back fan on the mic right now. And then before that, I was right here in the middle, close to the CPU fan. It's the brand new fan. It's not very loud. I isolated it. Well, I mean, I had it not just it and the back fan running, and the machine was not really loud. That's why I kept thinking, well, okay, it's got to be the hard drive that's causing all the weird noises that I'm not quite recognizing. So I'll get the door, put it on. I don't know what I've done with the front cover thing. I want it on there. That lets a lot of noise out. I think I can put this on. It's really a lot easier to get on than it is to get off this little door. It's all angled and weird, and it's just that the button was convenient, you know, more convenient than screws, except it's pretty hard to press it in and make it let go. And it's pretty hard to slide it off once you do get it to let go. Kind of hard to tell when you've got that door. I've got it, I think. Okay, it doesn't click or do anything. It's just slides into place. It was actually not hard. Okay, now where's my little... What did I do with the silly door cover? I mean, the bay cover. Did you see it? I had it laying on my workbench over there where the hard drives were, where I've got my close-up camera. And it's not there now. Oh, yes it is. The box. I had all I got 2 boxes of parts, and I had laid them on my workbench, set them up on my workbench because I thought I was going to show all those fans in my video. And I never got that far. I mean, I would have if I'd ever got that far. There. Okay. Put my screwdriver back. If I don't do things as I go, I'll forget, and then I can't find them next time. Okay, now, oh, I can't believe my mouth is still so dry. Okay, this thing mostly needs it's sounding kind of like it does when I hear it at night and stuff right now. I'm going to put my stuff in their places, and not the extra little rattling noise. That's, I don't know. I mean, it's not any extra. There's no extra right now. Yeah, that is one of those. Well, unless I jacked it up, forcing it open. Yeah, now the light's blinking though. I was trying to open the, I wanted to see if the CD drive would open on its own. There. Now maybe if I... No, it's one that don't work right. So if I want to open it with the button, I have to put my little paper clip in there. Kind of just hold it up against it. And then when it starts to want to let go, just kind of lightly push in on it and it'll open up. Because if you force them open, they really get out of whack, and then they don't want to stay in and read. They'll pop back out, or keep trying to pop out even though they can't. So I might as well turn this one around. I don't think I'm using it right now, but plug my flashlight back in. I don't know exactly how I have that, but I may have it. Oh, I've got it wrong way. I had it too low. That's about right. Okay. Now, yeah, I didn't move my shot because I just wanted to get that all going, and now I'm going to turn on KlamAV. Thinking about putting the mic up there like I was talking about, wireless over there where you can hear the... Well, no, because of me, yeah, you'll hear that echo of me talking. I keep forgetting that. That'll be really bad. You'll never be able to understand me. Okay, so let me just listen to my sound for a second, make sure it still sounds okay. Yeah, got good sound, so I'm not going to switch over to that other machine and change things or anything. And if it seems okay, then I will go get on my router and switch it back to this being the online machine and go shut that one down outside. But if it can't run KlamAV good, Actually, that extra hard drive ain't making no more noise. I'm pretty sure I can just leave it in there. It'll probably make some noise when I start running. Oh, I gotta be running it in root mode if I want to be able to delete anything off that NTFS drive. Yeah. You should be able to see. Let's see, run media. I'm just gonna look, even though I'm not gonna do it from here. Dawn. Yeah, you can see the drive. Okay. So I'm gonna close it. Could reboot it, I guess, but let's see, where is it? There it is. Let's see if I can close it. Yeah, it won't let you close it. This system is so low on resources, I'm gonna reboot it because I don't think I can run both. You know, what happens is you're running two versions of KlamAV at the same time, and even though one of them isn't scanning, I really thought I could tell a difference on my quad core, much less this one. So I'm going to reboot it and start that scan. And if it, well, really, I mean, the server's going to be running no matter what, so I don't think, unless, you know, like it got a whole lot of traffic or something, it shouldn't matter. Thought I hit reboot, didn't I? May just be taking a while. I'll have to remount those drives again like I did just a while ago. Just wait and be a little more patient there. I'll probably, as soon as I try to do it again, it'll hang it all up because it was, yeah, there it goes. Because it was really on its way down. All right. Yeah, and I'll leave it. I started to switch back to my, thought I'd switch back to my other machine and get on the other mic, but if I do that, then the video resolution might not be right. It won't see the monitor and stuff. So if I leave it right here, just like it is, the KVM switch, then it'll all be the right size. And I'll go ahead and hit the arrow key so that I can watch the boot sequence. So that other drive, I'm just kind of disappointed I didn't realize it was, I kind of had a funny little feeling that maybe there was something wrong with it, but I didn't have anything written on it, so I guess I wasn't sure. I think I just put, it wasn't working in the other machine, but I hadn't done any testing on it or anything. So it could be broken completely. One good thing is the Seagate, and if it's broken, I mean, like, as long as the electronics aren't broken, I have a 160 gigabyte Seagate drive that I shorted out. I was trying to hot swap it. Basically, I had it on my USB adapter, and I was trying to power it up, plugging in a Molex to it, and I was reaching down there where my power supply amp is, trying to plug it in, and I had it turned backwards and didn't realize it, and I just thought I was missing it, and I kind of rocked it, trying to find it and plug it in, and what it did was it caused it to connect and short. And it made magic smoke. And so the platter has it's like 3 gigabytes of space was left on it. It was just full of mostly all downloads and Linux ISOs and stuff. All back, and well, not a lot of Windows stuff too. It was all downloads. It was that's where I kept my downloads. Oh, I'm doing the wrong password. I don't know if I got that right or not. I kept messing up, and I messed up and corrected once or twice. But I'm not, when I start doing that, I'm never sure if I got it right or not till it finally gets done. Okay, it's I did get it right. So this time I will go ahead and mount the drives again, the NTFS drives, so they'll be mounted. And Crusader, that worked good. That was easy. Mount them with Crusader, and then got to wait till it's off to finish booting up. And then I will open up a terminal and start up KlamAV in the terminal with under root privileges so that I can have the power to delete anything I need to delete. Okay, I think we can open up Crusader. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this operating system. It runs good, not a single thing wrong with it. It's just old. And it's still getting, well, I don't know how many, I don't think it's getting many security updates. I think it's getting a few, but not a lot. So, you know, that's not good. Okay. Security Linux still, SE Linux still protects them. Unless it's something that can get around it, you know, something really super trick. There's the Windows NTFS. See if what's in Windows. Yeah, it looks like it's just a normal Windows system. Let's just go to Documents now, and then I'll close it. Don't want extra stuff running, that's for sure. Okay. I never really know where I want to put stuff when well, I'll just put it in the first one. This is not one that I run normally, you know, in my normal way, so I still don't like. There we go. Put it in number 2. Terminal. Now watch me get this going and it'll be fine until I get in bed. It's making plenty of noise right now. See if I can get that up that way at least. As far as it'll go, it's just kind of up at the front of it. So I've noticed it when I try to get the noises of the machines. It's really not that loud on the lapel mic. Not as loud as I thought it would be. Let me get logged in here. Okay, did I get it? Yeah. KlamAV. And for some reason, I've got this terminal to where it won't go smaller. Even when it's, I don't know why it won't do that. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and get KlamAV running. Check for updates on KlamAV now. Check for the signature database. Well, let's just do it all. Finish. If I can do it, I want it to do it. Could not contact update server. It always does that, and then it still updates the database. See, it's doing it right now. I guess what it's talking about, I said, you know, it wasn't selected to check for updates for the KlamAV program, and I selected it, and I guess that's what. But I think Fedora, from what I've gathered, looking at Fedora 28 and the, where did I see it? In the logs or somewhere, it seems to be updating the KlamAV signatures every day automatically without having to open the program. And all the other versions I've used, you have to open the program for it to do it. So then when you open the program, you got to sit there and wait for it to update like we're doing right now. So that's always was a pain. So yeah, Fedora 28 just does it in the background, which is good. I wonder if they might have it all set up to where you might actually be able to use, I haven't tried it yet, you might actually be able to use real-time checking, you know, checking files when you download them and stuff like that. I would like that, as long as it doesn't use too many resources for the system. I'd actually check everything with VTZilla now. I mean, with it automatically, everything I download, of any file, pretty much any kind, text, HTML, download, you know, executables, ISOs, whatever, it checks them before it, as it's downloading them. Actually, it doesn't stop the download. You can interrupt the download, but it breaks it. I figured out. So now what? KlamAV ready. Okay, shouldn't be anything in the quarantine. And scan. Yeah. There's auto scan, but make that big enough where I can see it now. Now, you can do like that, but I do them both just to make sure I don't miss anything. And then it'll automatically get every available folder on the system. And I'll even look and run to make sure. It's hard to see, they're really hard to read like that. Yeah, Dawn, run media Dawn. See, it selected my Windows drive. So I want to just go ahead and scan this whole thing. I haven't done this system in a very long time, so I'm just going to let it run all night or even longer until it gets done. I'm not going to be able to tell if it makes more noise tonight. If it gets bad, I guess I could turn it off and go turn on the backup server. And I don't want it to ask me. I want it to just report. I guess this might be a good way to see just how loud those drives are, and I won't be able to tell which one's making the most noise, but if it makes more noise and a different noise than what I'm used to, it'll tell me, you know, it's probably the other drive. Right now I don't hear any drive noise, but I haven't started scanning yet. So just report every folder on the system, just the whole thing, both drives. Scan. Now it sits there and calculates the time, and that'll take forever, so you don't want to rush it. You want to make sure it's kind of got going, and then you can click that gray button at the bottom until it bypasses that. So it should be start scanning here pretty quick now. It says the folders it's getting ready to scan. Bin, boot, dev, etc, home, lib, media, mount, root, proc, root. Thought I already saw root. Oh, that was boot. Root, run, sbin, srv, sys, temp, user, var. I think is that all of them? All of the main folders, top level folders. It hasn't started scanning yet. Doesn't look like. This is slower, you know. Single core, 2.5 gigahertz, versus the my Lenovo i5 is a quad core with 4 gig of RAM. This has 2 gig of RAM. And then versus Mom's new 8 core with 8 gig of RAM. I still can't get over it acting up, not working well with OBS Studio. It worked out good earlier today, was it? Yeah. I turned it on as a backup stream and it didn't act up. Okay, now it's scanning. Boot VMLINZ PA. So it'll just work away. Well, it's scanning away. Just the normal, very slight. And this is the hard drive that the system's on. This is the 80 gig. I can't really hear it. Well, it's kind of stopped on one file that must be rather. They're not that big. Those are the kernel files. I can see what it says. It is scanning. I just scratched a scab on my knee. Now I got blood. You never know when they're getting like that, when they're fixing to be where they'll do that. Ow! These paper towels are like sandpaper. Dang. Mommy. Man, I mean, it's bleeding like a stuck hog. And that thing's been there forever and it never bled. I've scratched it, I don't know how many times. It's weird when they start getting to be a scab, then all of a sudden, if you scratch them, they start acting crazy and bleeding. I mean, it's really going to town. I've been putting, first I was putting antibiotic ointment on it, and I thought, well, I better quit. That's gonna overdo it. And sometimes things, they get to a point when they're beginning to heal, they'll heal, they'll get in worse shape. They say too soft, you know, they don't ever dry up and heal. Like, I don't know how to say it. They just, it seems to slow down the healing after a point. But I didn't realize that it had gone. I thought it was almost gone and healed, and now I just felt a little bump on my knee, and I wasn't thinking. I started scratching. And then I go, oh, I know what that is. And about that time I pulled it off. Got it. Okay, well, whatever it is, it's going to start over with the healing. It's a bigger sore now than it was when. At first, I didn't know. I just felt something. I didn't even know it was really a sore for a couple of weeks. I still don't know how I got it. All right. It's working just fine. I don't think it's going to have a problem doing the scan. And what I'm going to do is click over to a different desktop so that it won't. It says 4 viruses problems found, but they're just heuristics, broken executables, and they're my kernels. They always show up. Your kernels always show up, and they're not bad. You delete those, and you have no more operating system that will run. So I'm click off onto a different desktop that's not doing anything, so that I can accidentally stop that scan with my mouse or my keyboard. I like to leave them, like if they're going to be going all night, I like to leave them where all I got is turn on the monitor. And I think that's how I messed up that 1-bit Defender scan. I think I was wiping the dust off my keyboard when I got up the next morning and messed it up, stopped it after it had been running for all night, 1 or 2 nights. Still trying to get my knee to quit. Okay, now I'm getting to that needing a break point again. Got a mess to clean up. I'm tired. I did eat supper, but I'll probably have to eat a little something else before I go to bed. But first I'm going to get a shower and all that kind of good stuff. What have I got going there? Okay, well, I guessed it where to aim that and didn't do too bad. A lot of times I usually do better than that. I'm a little too high there. But anyway, what was I going to do? Okay. Let's go back to this.
While I'm on the desktop anyway, and I was thinking, I never show my backup server or anything. I might go out, trying to look. Oh, I have my other mouse. I was trying to check my audio and everything. Just as I was doing that, that one starts making a little noise. Okay, so what's my? Oh, I think it's 1024. I was going to go ahead and switch my IBM back to being my web server. And I was thinking I could probably show it. Let's see. Yeah, okay. 154 I think is the one in the garage, and 1024 I think is the IBM. How am I going to know? Well, whichever one it goes to, I want the other one. That's how I'll know. See, they're both going to be the same website, same name, same everything. As long as I've done it enough times today, I think I can remember what to show and what not to show. I mean, all the eternal IP addresses, well, they would only be of any use if you got in here, and if you did that, I'm in trouble anyway. The other day, I was really not wanting to show any of it. Let's see. In the D-Link, there's 2 things you got to set. You got to set the port forwarding and the virtual server. Okay, so the 154 is where it's going right now. And if we go to, let's see if we can still, Uptime Robot, it should still be up. Let's go ahead and log in so that we can know what's going on. Oh, and I did get a notice in my email saying that the server had been down, even though it didn't show up in here in this dashboard thing. See, it shows it's been up. Oh, wait. It was up 124 hours, and then it was down for not even a whole minute. And now it's been up for 5 hours and 56 minutes. It was down at 11:06 a.m. Okay, I got that notice, yeah. So I don't know. I didn't see it in here at the, when I was expecting to see it, but that's probably when I rebooted. Actually, I rebooted that. Not sure. It might not have been when I rebooted. When I rebooted the modem, well, the first time I rebooted the modem was probably earlier than that, when it was still dark out this morning, like 3 in the morning or something. And I did it again today because I was having trouble with the machines. When was it I had so much? That was last night. I had so much trouble with my machines. Okay, so you edit. I've got port 80, of course the normal web port, and you don't want all that in there. I just copied it from the web browser, so I got all that. Copy it again from there. Apply, but that ain't done yet, and that's what'll get you every time. You got to hit save right there. And then I went ahead and turned on the HTTPS, even though I don't actually, that's the standard HTTPS port, even though I don't actually have any HTTPS content on my website. That wouldn't mean I need some dynamic website and everything else. I just have a straight HTML. I did it is HTML5 now, and then you got to do the, now I'm in virtual server. So now I do the same thing. And there, you got to do them both, or it won't work. Yeah, and they do show up in the drop-down list, and you could hit that save once instead of twice in that same window. That's what I did last time. See, I could. Oh, that didn't work. Paste it in there. Now hit save. Okay, now. So now we've got 0.1024, which is, that's one of them. But since I know I was on the one outside, you know, and the other one would be, see, like, if I go like that, where's the one that say, yeah, 154 and 10 and, what is it? Not 1024, but 124. 154 and 124, wherever it went. It was right there next to each other. Anyway, 124. Yeah, 0124. So that'll be on the IBM, and then the 154 is on the gateway out in the garage. And so that's already saved for virtual server and port forwarding. If you don't forward the ports to the right machine, then you'll be down the instant you turn off that machine, you know. And okay, yeah, and I did show you my printer, but again, you got to be inside my local network. That's a standard printer port, of course, for that printer anyway. Anybody that had one of those printers would know that. So that's what I've been doing. That's all there is to that. It is different in every router interface, and some are easier and harder. This one took me a while to kind of catch on because it's separate. It's all sets in those two. It's right there together, but it's separate, and that's extra save button also. You got an apply and a save button, so it throws me off. Okay, now what's the other thing? Well, I need to go out there and turn that one off. So I'm going to leave this up and going so that when I turn it off, we'll know. Let's see which. I was thinking I would grab that one and carry it out there because it's got the nice little handle on it. But, that one's zoomed into so nicely to the deal, so maybe I'll grab this one. So what I would want is one in desktop. I'm thinking I'll do one in desktop, grab that one and carry it with me, switch to the wireless.
Switch to the wireless.
Now you'll probably lose some frames.
You'll probably lose some frames and stuff.
Let's see.
Get that one turned off so you won't hear the bad echo. You'll probably lose frames, but you should be able to see pretty well what I'm doing out there. And I'll go ahead and I guess my preview's not playing. I turned on the audio, but I still didn't change the scene. I was like, what's going on there? Just wanted to make sure everything was right before I take off. The other one behind me, you can kind of see the handle. I can just grab that, and it's like it's a little wooden. It's not really a handle. Didn't used to be. It used to be part of my clothes tree. It used to be where you hang the clothes on, but it split and it wouldn't stay on there. So I decided to make a good handle for. It's a little wooden. So anyway, I'm going to leave it like that because when I go back over here, this will be in the view. And so we can see in the video later, you can see now, or I can see later what's going on. So if it does go down, and it shouldn't, because I think I'm doing it right, but I've been thinking that all day, then we should see it come up fairly quickly in this interface. There's another one that has TV mode, and it does tell you right away, and I still don't remember the name of that. Actually, this one may not tell you right away. What is that other one? I never have. Uptime robot. Unless I get a notice from them, I don't remember the name of them. It's not in my bookmarks. I'd have to go to my old bookmarks. It has one, because what I'm trying to do is actually not going to work. I'm pretty sure. I'll just leave the scenes like they are. It's not too big of a deal to leave them like that. Let's see, documents, that's downloads. I only have one, just the most recent, last backup I did before I rebuilt the system. So if I open that up, then let's see. Maybe if I search for Uptime, if I could spell. Uptime robots. No. What is the deal? Is it dot robot? Oh. I don't know why I'm not. Uptime robot. Uptime R-O-B-O-T. I thought it would get me there quicker. So this is why this is just really not usable this way if it's not actually in, just opening up the HT, there it is, Uptime robot. If it's not actually in Firefox, you know, if you're just opening the HTML file, then it's just impossible to find anything. That just happens to be in a long list of something. Because, you know, like these words are going to be in here over and over again. Like if I look for monitor, and I can't, if I don't know the exact order the words are in, then I can't. The searcher is just just not work. It just doesn't work good. Go to the bottom and try to work. See, they're so long though, you can't really go without searching. You can't really find anything. UVWXYZ. UVW. I've lost my Wi-Fi. Website. Code injection. Web space. Okay, now I'm in the general area, but see, I can't. There's so much on that page, you can't pull that blue bar. There we go. Website monitors. There's one. What's that one? Monitor.us. That's the one I'm looking for. How about that? There's what I was looking for. Website monitoring sites Don is using. I couldn't remember that, but it just so happens they're down there too. Sometimes I forget and do it over and over again. I think I was actually one. Yeah, I'm on static. I was actually using 3, but I think this one is the one that I'm looking for. Maybe. I think one of them I finally quit using because where's the login link? Because it just didn't work very good for me, you know. Don't go away, get 3 minutes to get started. They decided I was ready to go. How did they know that I was about ready to close it? I started to, and then I thought, wait, where's the login thing? Maybe if I click on that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, you gotta put in an email. I don't think that's the one I used. I can't remember the password, and I don't know where it is. Dang it. That's probably the one I wanted to. I'm on static. Let's see if that's the one. I was thinking I had, well, no, this is a new browser. It's not going to be saved in there, right? What the heck? Wrong. Don't save. I don't know the password. So it's not going to help. I'm not going to spend more time looking for it. So this one, at least when I come back in, you can reload it and find out. There's one that has like a green, I call it the green page, and you can just leave it there. If you go down, it'll tell you the very next time it'll just say up, down, big up or a big down, and it's checks. I think when you go to the green page, it checks more often than if you're on the normal dashboard, Okay, so yeah, I'm on the wireless, right? On the wireless camera. Stay right there. At least we'll see something. Now it doesn't seem like such a good idea to stay there because I don't think it changes. But those are the other monitors that I've been using that I liked out of I've tried a few others. And they're fine. They're great. I just can't remember the password. So I don't think that it's going to be, I'm almost certain it's not real time or, or even within 30 seconds. So let's just forget about that. And leave it like this. And I was going to leave it that way so that you can see both, but that does make an awful small screen. Well, how for sure if I don't try it though. Let's see. I can't remember. I think I remember, but I can't remember for sure what I remember. So let's go back, look at my preview over there. Let's see. What have I got? I think I have the wrong thing. No, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's do it. The camera view will be smaller, but in a widescreen, it's not that much smaller, splitting it in half. Okay, because what I'm going to have to do is once I get that shut down, I'm going to have to just quit because I'm got to have a break. But I thought I could last long enough to do that, and then I fiddled around some more. Okay, so grabbing the camera. Don't know if there'll be somebody. I'll just point it at me because I don't know if there'll be somebody in there or not. This one actually is easier to aim at me as long as it doesn't move from where it's at than the stick. But the stick is actually just for that though. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's nobody in here. Okay. So let's just show you where we're going now. All right. Out to the garage. Hopefully we won't completely lose our. Well, we have to turn on some light. Boy, it's hot out here. Started to open the back door, but that's with these two fans going too. That is enough air moving to keep it from overheating, mostly the router, because it's up there where it gets really hot, but it has to be up high enough to see my little reflectors. Those really do make a big difference, especially on that particular router. Some routers that actually seem to make it worse, but they're called it's a pattern called WinStar. I don't know if you can how well you can see them, but they're well, I used kind of like picture paper. It's really like flyer paper, thick paper, and then you glue the tinfoil on there and cut out that pattern and just glue tinfoil on there, and it makes your antennas much more powerful. And you can make them more directional too. So see, you're not sending so much signal back over to your neighbor's house. So even if they want to try to hack into your Wi-Fi, it's going to be a weaker signal. Now you're probably really going to hear the fan, but okay. So here's the monitor out in the garage. That's the desk. That's not a desk, that is a table. It's covered in computer stuff, but that is my table saw table I built. There's a table saw way under there. That's my two old gateways, 350 megahertz and 500 megahertz there, but underneath my toolbox, my stereo amplifier, my Kidwood amplifier, Kenwood, that used to be in the house, but doesn't work so good anymore. It really needs to, I think it could be fixed if I was really filled up to trying to replace all the caps in it. It'd probably be good as new. And a 1950s or 60s generator checker. Oh, and the TV that was in the kitchen until just a couple weeks ago. Everything needs a place, you know, so you put it wherever you can. So anyway, this is the server. This is my backup server. That one, I think I set it up as a backup server originally. That's 350 megahertz. That's 500 megahertz. And I think, well, I'm sure you're hearing that fan, but all I'm out here to do is turn this off. So look at there. It doesn't even look like, is it flickering? It doesn't look like it's flickering. I think these newer cameras do better. Well, I think I set it to 60 megahertz anti-flicker, whatever. Okay, we're going down. So I think the light back there will go out. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can see the light. On the Ethernet, I think it goes out. Maybe it stays on as long as it's plugged in. No, it goes out. There it goes. Okay, so that's about the only way I can tell if that thing's on or off with the fan running, because I can't hear it with the fan running. So that was all there. That's that's the mysterious backup server. I'm going to leave the router on and everything. I think it may actually help the, let's see, what have I been doing? You know, I had meant to turn it off, and I think I forgot and left it on, because when I came out here to turn that thing on, what did I do? Oh, I think I turned it on, and then it booted up automatically, and then I thought it wasn't booting up, so I pushed the button. I think I turned it off, and then I turned that off and back on, and I guess I was just completely confused. So anyway, we're going to turn this fan off and all the extra lights. And yep, there's lots more stuff out here too. Okay, so since that is like it is, okay. Usually, oh, I didn't know I was actually pretty aiming at my own head, wasn't I? Like I'm supposed to for a nice selfie. Okay, I didn't know until I got in here and I saw the preview, or at least at some point I was. And I don't think I ever changed the angle of the tripod, so it may actually be still aiming at me when I sit down. I won't know for sure until my preview catches up to where I am. Okay. Still going. Now, from what I thought, if you reload the page, it's going to tell you, yeah, it'll tell you if you're down, because I've done that plenty of times during these checks. It doesn't, it's not accurate. Like if I say, that's my local IP, you're always going to get there, right? Okay, so don't do that. That doesn't tell you you're on the internet. Now, you would think just going to your domain name would tell you you're on the internet. Well, your machines are always going to take the shortest path. Most of the time, not always. Most of the time, they'll take the shortest path, so you can get your website at your domain name and still be offline. That's what got me learned me to use these uptime reporting sites. They are not in your local network, and when they ping your website, if it's down, they know it. You know, they'll see it, and you can do it like. What else did I do before? I don't know. That's the best way to do it. If you know your network really well and you're like on another subnet and you go and you make sure you're going out to the internet and back to your server, then you can tell. But it'll trick you. I used to do it for years. I don't know if I didn't think. I've known about these things on and off for many years, but I think for quite a few years I just forgot about them or something, or I saw someone, I tried some and didn't like them. I don't know, maybe they were only short time free trials or something, but these, I've been using these for several years now, and the basic plan is free. Now if you want some extra bells and whistles, then it costs you money, and it even tells you your percentage. My percentage is just as good as anybody else's. Is home server with all the trouble I've had lately. 99.98 in the last 24 hours, 99.99 in the last 7 days, 99.77 in the last 30 days. And that's with all the downtime I've had recently. Sometimes I go along and I don't get a report for a month, that they're down, that I'm down. And of course it depends on your ISP. If your ISP goes down, then you're down, no matter what you do. But that happens to anybody, doesn't it? So, of course, I don't have lots of traffic. It's just my little personal websites and stuff. I have one server with its different. Well, see that bishopco.us.2 is it makes my dynamic IP address work with my domain names. And when I build my new server, if I can figure out how to do it, I'm going to set up not a DNS server, but what do you call it? DNS? Is it DNS server? I want to set up the domain name server. There's some other name for it, but so that when my domains are typed in, it answers. If I can do that, I think you can do it with a. It may still have the same problem with the dynamic, the ever-changing IP address, and instead of a static IP, I have a dynamic IP. But these services like bishopco.us.2, it's afraid.org is what it is. I think it's afraid, right? Should come in. Oh, yeah. There it is, afraid.org. This is where I get mine. Used to get it from another place, and then they quit giving it for free. But this is a real good one, and this you sign up, and of course, if you want more features, you pay. But you sign up and then set it all up, and it's not easy. You have to learn, and put that in my. I don't think I have a. I usually have them all in like separate. Camera now. Okay, so I had. So it should be all right. I mean, with this one, that Uptime robot, they're real good about emailing you just as quick as you're down, but it doesn't have a lot of false positives. One of them had so many false positives, I would get sometimes I'd get 50 emails a day saying I was down for less than a minute, you know, and it was just that their timeout waiting for the URL to respond, for the server to respond, and mine's longer because of that forwarding service. And maybe sometimes because of my server, because it's not real fast. I don't think it's the server really, because I mean it doesn't take really anything to just show, you know, bring back a HTML page. I don't know. And if I'm on that server out in the garage, yeah, it could have been slow. I think I was using that, like I said, that 350 megahertz, and it was too slow, and it wasn't always giving errors the whole time it was running. And so I think I went ahead and installed the Apache on the 500 megahertz, not gigahertz, 500 gigahertz, 500 megahertz system out there. But anyway, there they are, and that's what I'm doing. That's what's running. And if it wasn't so hot out there, if it wasn't so hot and cold in the garage, I would just have a server in the garage. I wouldn't have it in the house. But see, I don't have wiring running out to the garage. I only have Wi-Fi, and that's not dependable. That's the other thing. You really don't want to run a server on Wi-Fi. So it's always something going to go wrong every once in a while, and you may not know it. You know, with it being out there in the garage, I wouldn't. Well, with these Uptime robot, I would know it. But anyway, you won't know it unless something tells you, because you're not going to. I don't go out there every day. If I felt better, I would go out there all the time, but I don't. So, I mean, there's times when this server right here, the IBM right on the right of me, I can always see it, but when it was quiet and it wasn't bothering me, there's times when that thing, I'm going to switch over there and look at it before I go. That thing, I would forget about it for a month. Forget I even it existed, you know, because it was just running great. Always online, not getting any squawk complaints, you know, saying it was offline from the Uptime robot or any of the others. The other one of them, they kept sending too many false positives, I would say, and I finally changed it to where, I don't think I turned off the notices, but I changed it to like every hour, you know, only check every hour or something. So now it's not very useful, because unless you're down for a long time like that, you know, then it might send you something. What have I got here? Oh, Phoronix Test Suite. Some of the files for the Phoronix Test Suite that I just installed on here. They're just saying heuristics broken executable. So, you know, this is going to be a long scan for sure, because it is about 70 gigabytes worth of stuff on the 80 gig drive, and then, or more really, because I only have like 5 gig left now, so it's going to be about 75 gig. And then that 30 gig is probably at least 3/4 full of files, so I don't know if it'll finish by the time I get up tomorrow or not. It is, you know, running along now, it's got a hum, that's for sure. Here it is. But it's not rattling or anything, so maybe it won't drive me nuts. If it really does drive me nuts, I guess I'll come over here and stop the virus scan, but leave the machine running so that I'll have my server up. Well, I'm going to quit. And let me get back over here and quit. And I'm getting in my bath and getting ready for bed. Because, man, I've had a long night and day now. I got up around 8 or so last night. Now it's 1:40 in the afternoon. So, I don't know how, that's long for me anyway. Generally, by the time I've been up about 12 hours, I'm pretty pooped. And I go ahead and take a bath, eat supper, take a bath, and I'm in bed within, you know, like a couple of 3 hours from there. But so I don't know. Like I said, I'm tired enough. I'm really just flat tired now. Before I was just out of it and confused. Now I'm just tired. don't know what's going on for all those reasons now. But I'm glad I finally kept persevering and got something done. I'm making headway. I feel like I'm making headway. You know, I'm getting that drive scanned now. I'm getting the other one scanned so they can be. And if there's any important files on it, well, I'll just back them up, and then that way when if I reformat that 30 gig and use it on this system, if I decide it's quieter, what I'll do after it's all done scanning and everything, I'll just unplug the 80 gig like I did earlier, and hopefully I won't forget what I've done. I'll be confused. And I'll just run it. Well, I guess if I didn't have it plugged in, it would probably try to boot that Windows 7. Of course, it can't do it on that machine. That machine couldn't run Windows 7, plus it would squawk. It will say there's something wrong, or this is not the right hardware, you know. But I just want to turn it on and see what kind of noise it makes. But right now, I don't hear any extra noise. So if it doesn't start making a bunch of different loud noises that I haven't heard before, then I'm going to kind of consider that to be a quieter drive than the 80 gig, and I'll probably go ahead and put Fedora 28 server on it. And the fan things, I don't know. I've got some other ideas. I'm thinking about, I'll show them tomorrow, but I've got some fan wind tunnels. I've got 2 different types. One it hovers over the CPU cooler and redirects the air back out the back fan. Lets the back fan be its fan. That was the way that Dell, I don't remember what model number it was. It's right here under my feet. It's my box for my power supply amp. I can't quite see it. I've been wondering about that. Let's see. That's the one that got hit by lightning. Dimension. Where's the number? I don't see a number there. Power button's still there, but it doesn't do anything. That's a good power button. I should take that out of there. I didn't wire it in. Well, that's the wrong kind of button. It's a, you know, it's a momentary switch, so you can't use that to turn, you know, amps on and off. Without a motherboard. I mean, if I had a motherboard in there, I could have used it to turn the power supplies on and off. But with a motherboard, then you need a processor, then it's using up too much power, because those are 80-watt amps, both of them. 2 80-watt amps, 2 power supplies in there. There really wasn't room for a motherboard in there. But maybe I could put a Raspberry Pi in there. I have one, but I've got it in a little box. Anyway, see, I'm tired, going in circles. Okay. There we go. Well, that's way up in the air, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, see, there's the camera up there that's always pointing at the monitor. Okay, so hopefully tomorrow I will not be as confused, and I'll make better headway. But any kind of forward motion is better than nothing. So, got something done today. All right.